So then I decided to put a project together, a folk-based project with Matt Thornton, who works in, it was a really good producer in Buchanan, and the thread with all of them is they're all people from the 1970s. And I call the album A Decade of David and Goliaths because I'm called David. And in every album that I've ever recorded, I always put the line, way back in the 70s. Don't ask me why, but I did. And so the album is all about that decade. And it's got a song about Evel Knievel and D.B. Cooper and Patty Hearst and Nixon and Muhammad Ali. And my favorite one is the one that I played, is 143 Means I Love You. We were looking for subjects because we needed one more song to do. And my wife and I were just kind of searching online, and we found an old clip of Fred Rogers meeting this kid named Jeff. I don't remember his name, but Jeff was using a wheelchair at the time. And this is in the early 70s. And one of the things that we really loved about Fred Rogers was the way that he just respected Jeff. Didn't talk down to him, didn't use any baby talk, just talked to him respectfully. And that was a special connection because my son has a disability. My son is delayed and goes to a school that services children with special needs. So it meant a lot to us to see him give that to Jeff. So I spent a long time researching the life of Fred Rogers. I had known that one of my cousins was in a hospital in Pennsylvania, and Fred Rogers went to go see her. He visited her there. You know, after I recorded the song, I gave her a copy of it. I also knew that the line where it says he was colorblind in every way, it has a double meaning. One, he was physically colorblind, like he could not. He really was colorblind. And the other way was his parents had adopted a child that was mixed race way back in the 1940s. To do that was almost unheard of. So he was all about that. He kept his weight at 143 all his life because that corresponded with his favorite sentences, 1 I, 4 LOVE, 3 YOU. The last time he came out was after 9/11, and he just reassured children that everything was going to be all right. And I'm so enamored by Fred Rogers, and I just can't say enough good about him. Anyway, that's where that song comes from.
Well, it's an amazing song, and I hope more people get exposed to it, more people can hear it, because it'll truly, this story and that song will, connect emotionally with people and bring tears to your eyes.
Thank you.
There's a lot of meaning in the song that you just sang for us, and now we're going to play it for everybody else to enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that story.
My pleasure.
And I'm sure everybody's going to absolutely fall in love with this song. You spoke a little bit about your son. I know his name is Jake.
Yep.
And I know how much it means to you to be able to share your love for music with your dad. Mm-hmm. And this morning we were able to kind of listen to you and your son sing together down at Buchanan Common. Can you just talk a little bit about your relationship with your son?
Sure. So Jake has a really good sense of rhythm. And when I was younger, I couldn't understand why people couldn't clap to the beat. Some people can't do math. I can't catch a pop fly. And Jacob has a really good sense of rhythm. He can do that. And he loves music. I love seeing him come into his own. He got sick when he was almost 4, and it damaged his brain. And we just kind of had to take a different path with him. He's great. I wouldn't have him any other way. I love that he loves music, and I love that he participates in it as well.
Yeah, you two seem to have a very special bond.
Oh, his mother's a far better parent than I am.
Wow.
I knew that my wife would be a great mother, but I didn't know that she would be that great. Everything comes natural to her, whereas I have to work at it.
Well, it's she's obviously a blessing to you and a blessing to your son, and I appreciate your time today. I know you've got to go right now, but hopefully we can get together again real soon and talk a little bit more about your story. And I hope that everybody takes an opportunity to get to know John David Van Dyke, Dr. John David Van Dyke, and check out the Van Dyke Review online, and watch this video, and share this song, Mr. Rogers. What was the name of the song?
It's called 143 Means I Love You.
143 Means I Love You. It's an amazing song with some great messages there, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. So we're back with David Van Dyke, and he's going to tell us about the guitar that he's holding.
So this is it. I got this when I was, I think, 15. I got it in a trade. My dad bought it at a pawn shop, and I traded it to my uncle, and I've had it rebuilt. It went, I don't know where this came from or anything else. Linda Day at the Chuck Day Music Center fixed it for me. There was a crack here, crack there, and it still sounds pretty good. They taped it there. It's a Guild D260, I think. I don't know. Somehow I've managed to keep it. D25 rather. So here's a song I've been I released about Mr. Rogers. Fred Rogers was a saint, and my wife and I looked online. I released an album about people from the 1970s, and I was just really enamored with him. We have a son that's disabled, and he really connected with kids with disabilities. And he used to say, instead of saying, I love you, he'd say 143, with a number corresponding to his favorite sentence, 1I, 4 LOVE, and 3 YOU. And he once visited my cousin, who was in the hospital at the time, and he was so beloved that once his car was stolen in Philadelphia. His car was stolen in Philadelphia, and it was broadcast that it had been stolen. And he walked out of his house the next morning, and his car was returned with a sign that said, "If we knew it was you, we wouldn't have taken it in the first place." But when I was a little bitty boy, I would come home after school, and a man would tell me he loved me, and everything was cool. Math made no sense to me. Gym was like hard labor. But Mr. Rogers became my friend, and I became his neighbor. 143 means I love you, and I love you each and every way. Come on over here, come be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor today? Mr. Rogers never ad-libbed, he always took the fall. He played piano like Nat King Cole, and he lived just like St. Paul. Mr. Rogers knew Jesus, got his minister's degree. But when he started preaching, he was preaching just to me. 'Cause 143, it means I love you, and I love you each and every way. Come on over here, come be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor today? Well, he was a Dartmouth dropout, but he let it out for his kids. Now once he met my cousin, and he checked out her new digs. In every way he was colorblind, he did not castigate. He said God loves you just the way you are, anyhow at any rate. 143, it means I love you, and I love you each and every way. Come on over here, come be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor today? Well, every time he put on a sweater, he put on his inside shoes. The train to the land of make-believe would always take away my blues. When I got a little older, Eddie Murphy misspoke What was wrong with Mr. Rogers? I thought I did not get the joke. 143, it means I love you, and I love you each and every way. Come on over here, come be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor today? At the end he did an encore, a final curtain call. He said, don't you be afraid now, Mr. Rogers loves you all. I don't know about TV, I don't know about showbiz, but if there is a heaven, I sure know where he is. 'Cause 143, it means I love you, and I love you each and every way. Come on over here, come be my neighbor. Won't you be my neighbor today? That's it. Thanks.
That is awesome. That is an amazing song.
Thank you.